Judge, you've heard a lot of accolades for you, and you're going to hear some more. But before we get started, I think that more than anything else, we ought to say something about Janice. No, for the last 16 years, Janice has had to have you at meetings at night, and for 2 or 3 times a week you might be gone, or you'd be doing this or doing that, and she was by herself. And I understand how that is because I have a lot of night meetings as well. And I can't complain about it because my wife does as well. So, you know, unlike Janice, you had a lot to do, and really she deserves a lot of credit for what she's put up with, what she's endured. And I want to say to you before I talk about the judges, thank you for giving us Henry for 16 years. I want to thank you. It takes a strong woman to do that. In leadership, they teach us about legacy, and Henry is leaving a real legacy for Pembroke County, for all of us. There's a lot of things that you've heard about that he has done, and I just want to showcase a couple of these and really kind of put it down in real world terms about what he has meant to the county. Planning and zoning. We hadn't had planning and zoning, or no community had planning and zoning for 20 years. And the judge said, we know we need this. Growth is coming to our community, and we want to make sure that we position ourselves properly, so we have to have this. And he said about doing it, and he said about doing it the right way, and educating folks, bringing in experts and talking about it, and it took about 8 or 9 years. But he did something that no county had done in 20 or 25 years, and for that he deserves a lot of credit, because now we are well positioned for growth when it comes, and a lot of the credit goes to the judge. If you're in the rural part of the community and you have Blue One and you have good internet, you have the judge to thank for that, because he worked tirelessly for a long time to put those types of things together. I had worked with the judge for the whole 13 years that I was here. He recruited me to come to Pembroke County after our other economic development planner went to Cincinnati. Her name was Maura Adelon, a great gal, and I came in and took the position in 2001. And I worked with Judge Bertram every day. We called each other every day. We saw each other almost every day for the last 13 years. I've seen him as much as I've seen almost anyone except for my wife. And in that time, all the different things that he has done, water lines. We went from a community that was maybe in the rural areas 65% served. We're above 95% served now. And you think of that as being, well, that's the basic thing. But if you're with a cistern and the cistern has parasites or other illness with it, it means a lot to you to have a water bill that's only $35 a month versus $85 a month. And the judge worked tirelessly on all these types of things. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the money in a moment, but I just wanted to bring home the fact that with sewer, with water, with the other types of things, he was dead focused on these, and it really matters to a lot of us in Pembroke County today. Thousands of people have benefited from your work on that. Emergency services. And what the judge has done to elevate emergency services. Our emergency services now, with Mike's good leadership and those of others, we're recognized statewide. We for our efficiency, for how we do things, and that took a lot of work. That took a lot of planning from both Mike and the judge, and the equipment we acquired, the protocols and the planning that we put into place, and all the people that we brought on to make a part of that. That's all the judge and his good leadership coming down. The Gateway Community and Technical College project. The judge, along with my wife and a few others, were the fathers and the mothers of that project. And as soon as we started this, he was on board with it, and he's on board with it today. And Judge, you still are on that committee, and I intend for you to stay. But all those types of, the visionary types of things with this and other projects that some of them you can feel right away, and some of them we might not be able to feel for 5 or 10 years or so. The Butler sewer systems, the Falmouth sewer systems. We spent a combined $7 million, almost $8 million actually, in the time that the judge has been with us on these types of projects, and he was an instrumental part of all of that. It's a lot for him to take on and to be a part of, but with all the growth that we are expected to experience in the future and all the things that we needed to upgrade already, he really provided a lot of leadership. I remember all the meetings we were in on all these various types of projects like this, where sometimes it was tough and sometimes things didn't go the way we wanted them to, but he had a lot of stick-to-itiveness, and it made a big difference. Our ambulance service upgrades, all the things we've done along those lines. Like I say, these are the type of things that you may feel at a certain point, but you may not, but it's very important to the community that we have good emergency services, we have good ambulance service, we have good other services like this related to it, and the judge was an instrumental part in that, not to mention the new courthouse and all the other things that we're talking about doing. And I just kind of wanted to bring it home for you all, is that over the years that I've been here for the last 13 years, this is just a broad stroke of the types of projects that the judge has been instrumental in, and the dollars that he has brought into the community. Now, these are things that he directly impacted. These are things that he did that were a part. He, of course, had staff helping him, but these are things that he directly oversaw. Is that in the whole time that we've been here, that he has been for the last at least 13 years, we have brought in a little under $33 million in funding for projects. This is grant funding, loans, and those types of things. In direct grant funding, we brought in almost $18 million. These are direct grant dollars that we brought in, combined for community development block grants for water and sewer lines, $12 million, trails grants, almost $600,000, emergency services, almost $2 million the judge has brought in for emergency services. And then for other grants of every type in the world that you can think of, almost $2 million. These are a lot of dollars that the judge has brought in into our community that he was directly responsible for. And at every step of the way, you have to have administration for these types of things. And I don't see Vicki in here today. Vicki's sick. But I just wanted to say something about that. Is through his office, of course, the judge set up the finance system and those types of things. For this $33 million, every bit of it ran through the judge's office for administration of one type or another, and he never had an audit finding on one single bit of it. Everything balanced to the penny the whole time he was in office, for every bit of it. And that is astonishing when you think about all the different things that you did, all the different grant programs, and this is just after the flood. I mean, I can't imagine all the things with the flood itself and the $5 or $6 million then. That's just a lot to take care of. And considering that he did all this coming in right after the flood, a couple of years later, when there was still a lot going on in the community, people were still wondering what was going to happen in the future, and there were a lot of things that still weren't settled. And the judge said, "Well, we're going to settle these." And he started some committees. He started doing some other things, and focusing in on the prize. Here's what we want to do. Here's how we want to do it. And he brought a lot of people together, as he always did, to find out what they wanted to do, find out how they felt about things. And over the last 16 years, he's accomplished almost every goal that he wanted to accomplish right after the flood. And for that is from a planner's point of view, an economic developer's point of view like me, that's astonishing. It really is. In closing, I wanted to, since I worked with him every day, and thinking about what I was going to say today, you work with him every day, you got all kinds of stories. And I didn't want to be up here all afternoon telling all the stories like the time I went to Frankfurt and you went airborne. But that's for another time. But anyways, I want to tell you a little something about Henry that kind of it exemplifies the type of person that he is. He's a workhorse. He's got a lot of things going on at once. He's got a little ADHD like I do and like many other people do, but he's also got a lot of love. And every time he'd be on the phone with his wife, Janice, he at the end of the phone call, he'd say, all right, I gotta go, love you. And I mean, I'd be on in a car with him, we'd be driving or something, and he might call her two or three times, and every time he did, at the end of the phone call, he'd say, okay, all right, I gotta go, love you. He'd say it to his brother, he'd say it to his family, his mother. I mean, that's just the way he is. That's just the kind of guy he is. And so he's in his office one day, and like I say, he's just going a mile a minute all the time, a mile a minute. And, I'm walking up the stairs and he's in his office and he's on the phone. He's got the landline in his right ear and he's got a cell phone in the left ear and he signs checks. And I walk in, he starts talking to me. And you know, he's going on with his phone and hangs up one, he's going on with the other one, and he's just going on about, yeah, I'll get that done, and oh yeah, I'll do that, and blah, 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 and okay, I gotta go, all right, love you. Like, I said, oh, how's Janice? And he goes, I don't know, I was talking to the commissioner. So, that just exemplifies what a genuine guy he is. He's just a real genuine guy. You're unique in leadership in this profession. I've worked intimately with 15, 18 judges, and I've never met anybody like you. And I respect you. I respect what you've done. You are an example to set for anyone who's in leadership at any level in our country. And for that, Judge, we all love you.